At one point when I asked him how he was preparing to possibly be president, and are you reading the great presidential biographies, for example, and he paused for an unusually long time. His voice became almost tender, and he said, you know, I've never read a biography, but I've always wanted to.
You ask him as he's leaving the interview and going to bed, what are you reading? What was that, and what does he say?
He kind of had that look, oh yeah. You got me. And then he tried to answer, and he said he's reading this book that Ed Klein wrote, A Hatchet Job on Hillary Clinton, which I'm sure he's not reading. Then there was a book about Nixon, which he couldn't remember.
So I pressed a little harder, and I said, well, how are you preparing? How will you make decisions as president? And he said, well, I'm not going to be reading any big reports or anything like that. And he told me the story of how a guy from Wall Street came to him, wanted him to make a deal in China, and said there was an innovative kind of financing that he wanted Trump to consider. And so Trump said, well, I don't know anything about that. And the guy said, no problem, we've done some research, I have a report, I'll send it to you today. And Trump said, don't send me any blanking reports.
And did you review the lease at all before you signed it?
No.
How many leases like this have you reviewed in your career?
Signed or reviewed?
Reviewed.
Not too many. I signed hundreds. Much more than that. But I don't generally review them. I have somebody that, whether it's an executive or in this case, one of my children, you know, I rely on people to do these things.
Section 23D.
Okay. Okay, got it. Yeah.
You did not review this section
What
of the
does that
lease,
say?
monetary damages. This is in the remedies
I
section.
did not, no.
Okay. Would you be able to read this section and tell us what your understanding of it is?
Objection. Mr. Trump isn't a lawyer.
I mean, do you want me to read it? It's long.
It is long.
It's very long.
It is long. I would like you to read just the monetary damages section, starting at the number 1 in the middle of the page. Just there. The rest of that, and to the end of that, it continues on the next page. And tell me what you think, reading that, you as the landlord are entitled to get from the tenant in the event of a tenant breach in the way of damages.
I don't have my glasses. I mean, I am at a disadvantage because I didn't bring my glasses. This is such small writing.
All right, well, well, if the witness can't actually physically read the language,
I
that's a
mean,
problem.
it's very small writing. I can make it out. Do you want me to try?
Well, we can have,
Let's
you know
just
what we can do? We can have a bigger copy made of these pages.
Let me try. Let me just do it.
All right, I have to place on the record a hearty objection.
Yeah, it's all damages that the landlord may sustain, including all legal fees and everything else involved. Looks like everything in the kitchen sink to me. Then you have number 2. To value the positive difference with the aggregate amount of the base rent and the additional rent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's saying you have to pay all damages, and going forward you have to pay rent and other things. I mean, it's a complex clause, but it's a pretty standard damages clause.
Okay.
I think you'll find.
Who do you talk to for military advice right now?
Well, I watch the shows. I mean, I really see a lot of great, you know, when you watch your show and all of the other shows.
Okay, so he's like, he doesn't really know how to read.
For real.
Yeah. So during like the table read, he like, before like we were gonna read each, before he had to read each line, and he's the host, so he's at everything.
Yeah.
He would go, I'm not going to say this. I think I'm going to say it the way I want to say it. Is that okay? Is that okay, Lauren? Is it everything? Is that all right? And everybody's like, what? And then this is my favorite part is there was a sketch that we wrote where he's at Disneyland with his daughter, and the line is, all right, let's get out of here. Turkey legs? Like, let's go get turkey legs? And he doesn't know how to read. So he went, all right, let's get out of here, turkey legs. He called his daughter turkey legs.